This is Komaram Bhim, the heart and shield of the Gond tribe in Telangana, embarking on a mission fueled by unyielding devotion to his people and a profound sense of justice. The spark for his quest is Mali, a girl with a voice that captivates all who hear it, bringing light to the darkest corners of the heart. Her talent catches the eye of British Governor Scott and his wife Catherine during their expedition through Adilabad's dense forests. Entranced, they decide to take her with them to Delhi, ignorant of the turmoil they're about to unleash. Bhim, determined to bring Mali home, enters Delhi under a veil of secrecy. Disguised, he moves through the crowded streets, his every sense alert, gathering information on Mali's whereabouts. The city's vibrant pulse beats around him, a stark contrast to the tranquility of his homeland. This is Ram, a British officer with a heart that beats for India's freedom. Despite wearing the uniform of the oppressor, Ram secretly dreams of seeing his country break free from the chains of colonial rule. He is tasked with quelling any signs of rebellion, a duty that weighs heavily on his soul. In a shadowy Delhi gathering, Ram, disguised to blend in, suggests targeting Scott to gauge reactions and unearth rebels. His idea, what if we target Scott, meets skepticism. Yet, one man, linked to Bhim and seeking justice for wrongs Scott inflicted on his family, sees an opportunity and approaches Ram, proposing they act against Scott. Agreeing to discuss further, they head towards the bustling market. Their plan derails when a soldier salutes Ram, exposing his identity. Panicked, Bhim's friend runs into the heart of the market, where chaos soon erupts from an explosion near the train tracks. The shockwave from the blast sends people scrambling in panic. Amidst the chaos, a child on a small boat at the water's edge loses his balance and falls into the murky waters. Bhim, who first notices the danger the boy is in. Simultaneously, Ram, who was in pursuit of Bhim's friend, also spots the perilous situation. Both men, driven by a shared instinct to save the child, find themselves converging on the bridge above the water. In a swift decision to collaborate, they grab a rope available nearby. With a nod of understanding, they tie themselves to opposite ends of the rope and then skillfully swing the rope towards the boy. With precise coordination, Bhim and Ram use the momentum to swing the boy through the air. In a moment that feels like an eternity, they manage to safely toss him to the riverbank. This act of bravery and quick thinking lays the foundation for a strong bond between them, a connection forged through action while hiding their original identity. Bhim and Ram's friendship really starts to grow. They find themselves frequently in each other's company, sharing meals, engaging in rides across the city, and forging a bond strengthened by shared experiences. During one of their times together, Ram notices Bhim can't take his eyes off Jenny, Scott's niece. Jenny is kind and understands the struggles of the Indian people, which catches Bhim's attention. Understanding Bhim's hesitance, Ram decides to lend a subtle hand. He ingeniously arranges for Jenny's car to encounter a flat tire, thus crafting a perfect opportunity for Bhim to offer assistance. Taking advantage of the situation, Bhim offers to take Jenny to the mall. Despite the challenge of communicating across a language barrier, they manage to have a good time together. At the market, Bhim sees Jenny buying clothes for a child and asks her who they are for. Jenny's answer, for a small child named Mali, leaves Bhim stunned. This is the first time he's heard news that Mali is alive. Now, more than ever, he's determined to rescue her. When Jenny encounters Ram and a visibly exhausted Bhim, her immediate concern prompts her to offer assistance. Bhim plays it down, saying it's just a cramp from too much walking. Jenny then kindly offers to drop him off, but also invites him for coffee at her place first. Bhim's heart races with the invitation. He knows going to Jenny's could lead him to Mali. Trying to stay calm, he accepts, understanding the risk and opportunity it presents. Once at Jenny's, after they pass through the gates of her mansion, Bhim quietly slips away, his mind set on finding Mali. His search through the house is tense, with each step taking him closer to her. Finally, he finds Mali, locked away. Seeing her safe, even for a moment, fuels Bhim's resolve. He whispers a promise to her that he'll come back and take her to safety. Meanwhile, Ram's quest for information leads him to Bhim's friend Lakhu at a paint shop. Despite trying to get details about their plans, Laku keeps quiet. But in a tense moment, Laku releases a venomous snake on Ram and tells him about the deadly bite that only the Gond tribe can cure. This situation forces Ram to seek Bhim's help. Bhim not only gives Ram the antidote, but also shares his true mission and identity with him. Fueled by the promise made to Mali, Bhim's determination turns into action. In a bold and daring move, he and his men orchestrate an audacious plan. They break into the palace with a truck loaded with wild animals, causing chaos and confusion among the British officers and guards. Amid the ensuing chaos, Bhim's fight against the officers takes a brief pause when his gaze falls on Jenny. In a moment, without a single word, Bhim guides her to safety, ensuring she's secured in a car away from the danger. As Bhim redirects his focus to the mission at hand, Mali makes a desperate attempt to escape, only to be pulled back into the clutches of danger by an officer. Bhim, witnessing Mali's struggle, dives back into the fray, each blow exchanged with the officers drawing him closer to her. The tension escalates when Ram enters, clad in his police uniform, his appearance striking Bhim with a mix of disbelief and betrayal. Despite the chaos, Bhim tries to reason with Ram, his voice laced with desperation as he explains his sole motive: to save his little sister, Mali. "Brother," he pleads, "she is just a small child." But his words fall on deaf ears as Ram, bound by duty, attempts to handcuff him. Bhim, realizing that reasoning with Ram is futile, is forced to resist. Their confrontation intensifies, leading to a fierce battle between the two. Bhim maneuvers through the mansion, his determination to find Mali unyielding, with Ram in relentless pursuit. Bhim finds himself with no choice but to surrender after they threaten Mali's life, forcing his hand in a heart-wrenching decision. As Ram navigates the challenging aftermath of Bhim's capture and his own promotion, his mind is besieged by a vivid flashback that casts a shadow of doubt over his current path. The memory of his father, Venkata Ramaraju, a determined rebel leader who bravely fought against the British Raj and paid the ultimate price, resurfaces. This flashback isn't just a reminder of his heritage, it's a pivotal moment that redefines Ram's purpose. On his deathbed, Venkata entrusts Ram with a solemn vow: to arm every rebel who stands against the oppressive British rule, a promise that Ram carries in his heart. As the day of Bhim's public execution draws near, Ram oversees a cruel flogging session. In this moment of agony, Scott extends an offer of mercy to Bhim, contingent upon his submission. Bhim, battered but unbroken, refuses to kneel, his defiance echoing through his song, sparking the flames of rebellion among the onlookers. Soon after, Ram is assigned to oversee a significant arms shipment, presenting him with a critical decision point. Wrestling with guilt and inspired by Bhim's resilience, Ram devises a plan not to further his rank, but to save Bhim and Mali. He persuades Scott to move Bhim's execution to the city's outskirts, planning an ambush to free him. The ambush, however, doesn't go unnoticed by Scott, who had grown suspicious during their handshake, sensing the grease that hinted at Ram's sabotage of the firearms. In the ensuing chaos, as Bhim battles for freedom, Ram takes a stand against one of the guards threatening Mali. Misunderstanding Ram's intentions, Bhim incapacitates him in the heat of the moment and escapes with Mali, leaving Ram behind, wounded but hopeful for Mali's safety. A few months after the tumultuous events at the palace, Bhim and his team find themselves taking refuge in Hathras. Their relative peace is shattered when British soldiers, intent on capturing Bhim, descend upon their hideout. In a moment of quick thinking, Sita, Ram's cousin and fiancée, cleverly misleads the soldiers by claiming the hideout is contaminated with smallpox, ensuring their swift departure. She then reveals to Bhim the grave news: Ram is sentenced to death for his role in aiding his friend. Stricken with guilt, Bhim vows to Sita that he will rescue him. With determination and the blueprints Jenny provided, Bhim infiltrates the barracks, a fortress now holding Ram captive. Discovering Ram incapacitated, with his mobility cruelly taken from him by Scott's orders, Bhim hoists him onto his shoulders, embodying the strength and resolve of their friendship. Together they make a daring escape, confronting and overcoming the guards that stand in their way. While Bhim is attending to Ram's injuries in the woods, they're suddenly surrounded by police and special forces. Ram swiftly grabs a bow and arrows from a nearby shrine dedicated to Lord Rama and fights back. Bhim, armed with a spear, stands alongside him. Together they fend off the attackers and make their way to the palace. In a decisive move, they destroy the palace by sending a motorcycle packed with TNT into its heart. Amidst the chaos, Bhim secures a large stockpile of weapons for Ram. The upheaval leads to Catherine's demise, and together, Ram and Bhim bring down Scott. Following the tumult, they meet again with Sita, Jenny, and their fellow comrades. Ram commits to sharing his knowledge with Bhim, strengthening their bond. Honoring his vow, Ram heads back to his village with the weapons, while Bhim returns to his community, joyfully reuniting Mali with her mother. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.